You might have noticed that a lot of the discussion around vaccines has been their distribution, specifically how difficult the infrastructure is to set up to transport them and the sub-freezing temperatures they need to be kept at. However, could there possibly be a different solution? The company I'm going to be talking about today is on the front line of this solution, a company called Vaxart Incorporated, which is developing a COVID vaccine in the form of a tablet that can be stored at room temperature. First, I'll give an overview of the company and what they do. Then I'll discuss the pill form of a vaccine and the benefits it has over traditional shot vaccines. Lastly, I'll look specifically into the results from their COVID trial for this pill and the recent results they released. There will be timestamps in the description in case you want to watch ahead, but I recommend watching the whole video to get a good overview. Make sure to drop an early like to help with the algorithm. Let's dive right in. Vaxart is a clinical stage biotechnology company developing a range of oral vaccines. Its vaccines are designed to be administered using tablets that can be stored and shipped without refrigeration and that eliminate the risk of a needle stick injury. Its current developments include tablet vaccines designed to protect against coronavirus, norovirus, seasonal flu, and other respiratory illnesses. And the company has filed broad domestic and international patents to protect this proprietary technology on oral vaccination. If you had a choice, would you rather be vaccinated against coronavirus by getting an injection with a needle or by taking a pill? Personally, I would pick the pill. Vaxart is working on such a pill, and that's the reason that this stock has been rocketing in recent weeks. If this pill form of vaccine gets regulatory approval, it'll have many advantages over its traditional competitors. For the current frontrunner vaccines, storage and transportation is a massive issue. The Pfizer vaccine has to be kept in dry ice when transported, and, although easier, the AstraZeneca vaccine still needs to be kept in a traditional freezer. In contrast to this, Vaxart's pills can be stored at room temperature, preventing so many extra costs related to transport that are needed, such as refrigeration. On top of that, for countries that are extremely hot and that have worse infrastructure, such as developing countries, this pill will be much easier to transport and distribute. Beyond this, a problem that many healthcare services across the world are experiencing right now is the lack of vaccine administrators, specifically trained nurses to deliver a vaccine via the needle. A pill vaccine does not need a healthcare worker to administer it. Current vaccine rollout worldwide is not going as fast as it should be going, firstly because there are not enough people to administer the vaccine, and secondly these vaccines are very expensive and difficult to produce and transport. A pill vaccine has advantages over both of these, being easier to transport, produce, and administer. Even though Vaxart is behind the curve of the big companies like Pfizer and Moderna, its pill will still have the ability to enrich its investors down the line. And the reason for this is that it serves a particular market niche in underdeveloped countries. So even if Vaxart's pill doesn't get regulatory approval until the majority of Western countries are already vaccinated, there will still be a market in underdeveloped countries for Vaxart to enter with their pill, which is easier to transport and produce. Now that we've seen the advantages of a pill form of vaccine, let's look at the clinical trial results released by Vaxart on January 26th. The trial the company has been running has been on hamsters and done in conjunction with Stanford University scientists. In a press release on January 26th, the company announced that data from this hamster study showed that hamsters that received 2 doses of the oral tablet vaccine had a substantial reduction in lung inflammation as compared to unvaccinated hamsters. In particular, the study showed that in hamsters who'd received 2 doses of the vaccine, lung inflammation was down by 5-fold on a log scale. And on top of this, the vaccine potentially induced antibody response, with hamsters who received 2 oral vaccine doses having higher antibodies than those who did not. Unfortunately, some new research that came out today from Vaxart is on the downside, with the stock falling approximately 50% just today. The reason for this is that the results of a trial done on humans, approximately 35 healthy adults, has come out from Vaxart. What the company found was that 75% of volunteers who received a single low or high dose had T-cell response in the virus-infected cells. However, their antibodies were not significantly increased from the vaccine. The creation of T-cells is good, however the lack of antibodies is not, so this is a negative blow for the company, hence the stock has fallen by approximately 50% today alone. The good news is that these results are from a single dose of the vaccine. The company is now looking into what happens when 2 doses of the vaccine are given over a period of time. Personally, I think this crash in the stock price is too significant and a bit overdone as an overreaction to this news. Despite this blow, the company remains optimistic in the fact that their vaccine will eventually yield some sort of results. In particular, the company already has partnerships with both Kindred Biosciences and Atwell Vascular Technologies to produce and process their vaccine. Lastly, I want to quickly touch on the company's financials. I want to make it clear to all of you that this company is an early stage company in clinical trials for a vaccine that has not had regulatory approval yet. So currently the company does make a loss, with a loss of 8.1 million for the third quarter of 2020. This is to be expected because the company does not yet have a COVID vaccine to send out there and make money from. However, the phase clinical trials are exciting, so that could mean profits in the future for the company. One positive for the company is the fact that it has $133.4 million in cash and cash equivalents, particularly from $97 million raised from a common stock issuance. This means the company has cash to continue operations going forward, and they'll be able to see through the production of this vaccine to see if it's successful or not. If you take anything from this video, I want it to be the next three things. First, Vaxart specializes in the production of vaccines via a pill rather than injection, with a pill having massive advantages in terms of distribution and production speed. Secondly, as evident from the recent phase 1 clinical trial, there is real evidence on the effectiveness of Vaxart's vaccine. Thirdly, Vaxart is actively expanding its manufacturing through partnerships and has high levels of cash on hand to continue production. Based on these factors, Vaxart is an exciting company to look at, with massive upside potential if their vaccine proves useful through each stage of the trials. I want you to all keep in mind that this is an early stage clinical trial. If the vaccine ends up failing or proving less effective, the company's stock will tank, so keep that in mind. However, on the other hand, the potential is massive for if the vaccine is successful. As always, if you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you would hit the like button, subscribe, and turn notifications on. And remember, this video is for entertainment purposes and not personalized investment advice. You should consider your own unique financial position before making any investments. See you next time.